Scandals, upsets, and high-stakes races from the NBA to the NFL to Martinsville Speedway. We've got a storm of sports headlines coming your way right now. It is the S3 Sports Show. I am JD. Let's do it.
To all you haters out there, fuck you. This is not a fucking hobby. You're listening to the most non-relevant, relevant sports show on the internet. He's a combat veteran turned entrepreneur turned sports journalist. And she has an IQ higher than your entire family combined. It's the S3, and it starts right now.
What's going on, everybody? You are listening to the S3. I am JD. Ms. Lady M is actually not with the show today. She's feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm flying solo. I actually did it for years all by myself. That's how I rolled until a beautiful young lady came along and hit on me and screwed it all up. So she is she's a little bit under the weather. She'll be missing the show today, but hopefully she'll be back in action for next week's show. Before we get started, really quick, sports fans, are you in the market for a new or used vehicle? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to upgrade your ride, get something more reliable for the family, or finally treat yourself to that dream car. Whatever the reason, there's only one person to see, and that is Mr. Kevin Moore at Liberty Buick out in Peoria. Kevin and his team have the best selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with unbeatable deals and top-notch service. No hassle, no stress, just great vehicles at great prices. So don't wait. Head down to Liberty Buick and ask for Kevin Moore today. Tell him JD sent ya. Shout out to Lady M again, under the weather, not into it today, but she took home the Golden Bragger Award again for the second or third week in a row. I think that might be the third week in a row that she took it. She dominated last week's Pick 6 with a 5-1 record. She did send me her picks before the show, so I'll be going over those as well as my own hopefully winning lineups of my Pick 6, and I can get the Golden Bragger Award sent back in my direction. Kicking it off, as always, we got headlines and horrible dad jokes. This was a big headline this morning. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested early Thursday morning as part of an FBI sports betting investigation. Sources told ESPN's Sham Charania was first reported he was arrested at a hotel in Orlando this morning after the Heat played Orlando last night. Rozier did not play in that game due to a coach's decision. Maybe they knew what was coming up, maybe not. The investigation goes back to a game Rozier started on March 23rd, 2023, when he was with the Charlotte Hornets. He played just about 10 minutes in the game and then left with an apparent foot injury. Prior to that, a professional bettor made 30-plus bets in 46 minutes, totaling just under $14,000 on the under for Rozier's points, rebounds, and assist stats. Due to the amount of bets in such a short period of time, the account was flagged. My question is, why would he need to do that? He's currently in his last year of a 4-year, $96 million contract that he signed with the Hornets in 2021, who actually traded him to the Heat. Also arrested today in a separate but related illegal gambling case that has mafia ties with it was Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups. Billups was scheduled to appear in court earlier on today. I have not seen the results of that just yet. Also, along with about 30 others, former NBA player Damon Jones was arrested in connection with these. Jones allegedly, was giving out injury news before the rest of the world got it on a very, very prominent sports figure, that figure being LeBron James. Now, as much as I do love to bash LeBron James, I'm on Team Jordan on this one. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He was just told ahead of time LeBron was not playing. It was not by LeBron James. And he gave his buddies a heads up and told them to make some very substantial bets on the opposing team for that evening. That's called insider information. So that's a fallout. It's going to be interesting to see. I know the NBA will recover from this, but yeah, I mean, millionaires want more millions. That's just how it is. Like, I want more thousands as it is. I'm a thousandaire. So trying to get more thousands at the point when if I make millions, I want to make more millions too, but I will want to make it legally. Speaking of which, we got your DFS picks for tonight's game coming up here a little bit. So did you hear about the nightclub employee who fell from the 14th floor nightclub? The police did not release his name, but they did confirm that he was not, in fact, a bouncer. Outstanding. That was a wrong button. Supposed to be doing the laugh in that one. Here we go. Without Lady M, I just crumble on this stage. It's just it's not working out. All right, next headline. The New York Jets owner, Woody Johnson, had some very interesting things to say about his QB's play thus far at the NFL's fall meetings. When asked, quote, what's your confidence level in Aaron, he's talking about Aaron Glenn, the Jets head coach, to turn it around, Johnson said, it looks like he's turning around parts of it. It's hard when you have a quarterback with a rating that we've got. He has the ability, but something is not jiving. But if you look at a head coach with a quarterback like that, you're going to see similar results across the league. Defense and special teams are doing better. Defense is pretty good. He went on to say, if we could just complete a pass, it would look good. Pro Football Focus Mike Florio, from Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio said, I've never seen an owner speak that bluntly about a player on a team. We've heard some stuff from Jerry Jones, but he's never, quote, crapped on a player's skills like that. Jets are rumored to be going with Tyrod Taylor this week at Cincinnati unless something changes. Is Justin Fields right with being pissed off about an owner speaking publicly about him? I believe so. I do. You got to keep that stuff in-house. Every time Tom Brady screwed up, and he actually did it a lot, or any other player for that matter on the Patriots, Bill Belichick would not go in on that player for screwing up. You keep that stuff. Championship teams or building a championship team keeps that shit in-house. Looking at you too, Tua. Keep that shit in-house. Looking at the Jets' ranks for this season for offense, in points per game, they're 27. Total yards per game, they're 29th. Completion percentage, they're 23rd. Passing yards per game, they are dead last. Passing touchdowns, they are tied for 28th. And turnovers, they are tied for 23rd. Is the Jets owner right to be pissed? Yes. Is he right for crapping on his starting quarterback publicly? No. Keep that shit in-house. And I hate the Jets. I love seeing them miserable. Grew up in Boston, diehard New England sports fan since 1985. Love hearing New York teams going bad. Keep that stuff in-house. Extremely unprofessional. We get it. Your team sucks. You're not happy about it. You're dealing out a ton of money. Maybe you should have looked at Justin Fields, how he played in Chicago. Maybe, just maybe, you should have looked at Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. What were you seeing that says we want him on our team? I can fix that. If you said you can fix that, maybe you need to point the finger at yourself. Don't just bust out and start, because now everybody who likes the owner is anti-Justin Fields in that locker room. He may never start another game again for the Jets, barring injuries. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to play this weekend. I think he's definitely going to put up some better stats. But come on now, you can't do that publicly. All right. So Lady M said I should start doing lunges to get in shape. But that would be a really big step forward for me. Moving on. No, I got to get it. Thank you. All right. Moving on. Next up, Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama had his 40-point opening night on the road in Dallas last night. He also added 15 rebounds and 3 blocks in the Spurs 125-92 win at the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis, future Hall of Fame player Anthony Davis, had a 22-13 line, but he was basically dominated by Wembanyama. Wemby. That's what I'm going for from now on. I should just call him MVP. Lock it up right now after one freaking game. Are you serious right now? The dude went to China in the offseason to train with like Shaolin monks or something. Like, are you serious right now? He's on it. He looks tougher, looks better shape, looks like he added some muscle. He was dominating last night. Shot's still there in game 1. Also, number 1 overall pick Cooper Flagg said of his 10-point debut last night, quote, not good. It's an honest assessment. He got most of his points in the fourth quarter. Definitely not good, but it's your first NBA action. Yeah, you got summer league and you got practice and all that stuff. It's different when the cameras are on and the world is watching. Right, this isn't Duke anymore. All right? I'm not saying Duke's a bad basketball school. It's one of the top basketball schools in the world. Flagg did post 10 rebounds on the night also, so technically his first game of the season was a double-double. Not terrible for a rookie, but you do expect more than 10 points from the number 1 overall pick. Dallas will be without Kyrie Irving until early 2026. He's been out with a torn ACL that he suffered back in March of this year. I think that's the biggest problem. How do you have Cooper Flagg? Charles Barkley said this great last night on ESPN. How do you have Cooper Flagg passing the ball to people who are not as good as he is? Plain and simple, you need somebody else to bring up the ball, have Cooper Flagg coming off of screens, moving without the ball, getting open and getting into his game. His game is not bringing the ball up and passing it. His game is getting the ball and shooting it. See if Dallas makes any changes on that. So if April showers brings May flowers, let me ask you this. What do May flowers bring? Well, they bring pilgrims. That's that. All right. Moving on. Faster on the applause trigger. All right. Headline number 4. This one got me very emotional. I am a Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, Boston College fan. Also Army, because I'm an Army veteran. But those are my favorites. I cheer for the teams here in the Valley, obviously, because I live here now in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. So we talk a lot of Valley sports. Plus, as a credentialed media member here, I cover a lot of the teams here. So I do need to know a thing or two about them. But headline number 4, the best thing that I saw this week so far was Brad Marchand's emotional return to Boston when the Panthers defeated the Bruins the other night. Marchand played 16 seasons with the Bruins and was brought to tears with a very emotional tribute video by the Bruins to honor their former captain. I, myself, got a little something in my eye. Maybe it was a little dust. Maybe it was somebody with a pen jabbing in my eye, but the tears kind of came out on me as well. I love Marchie. He was that antagonizer, but he was that little guy that everybody was like, are you serious? But he put up the numbers. Listen to Marchand's Bruins stats rankings all time in the Bruins. Keep in mind that these are the rankings for a team that has been around for 101 years. Teams that have had players like Bobby Orr, Ray Bourque, Johnny Buck, Phil Esposito, Patrice Bergeron, Cam Neely, Zdeno Chara, and more. Brad Marchand deserves to be mentioned easily in the top 10 to ever don a Bruins jersey. Points all time for the Bruins, he's 5th. Games played all time, he's 4th. Goals all time for the Bruins, he's fourth. Shorthanded goals, he's first. Playoff goals, he's first. Overtime goals, he's first. Game-winning goals all time for the Bruins, he's second. Tell me that's not a Hall of Famer. Please, somebody, tell me why Brad Marchand is not a Hall of Famer, and it can't be just because you don't like him. It was his job to make you not like him, unless you were a Bruins fan, and now a championship-winning Panthers fan as well. No doubt in my mind that he will be a Hall of Famer. With all that being said, the Bruins will host the Anaheim Ducks later today, try and end their 5-game losing streak after starting the season 3-0. Should I continue with Bruins coverage this year? Because don't know if you know this or not, but Phoenix/Arizona does not have an NHL hockey team anymore. And I'm not cheering on the Utah Mammoths. So I'm going to my favorite. I may keep covering the Boston Bruins for the season. I may continue to do Bruins talk. I know it's a little out with the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks and whatnot. They don't have a friggin' hockey team outside of college. It's a pretty good hockey team here in the Valley of ASU. But for the pros, I think we may talk Bruins. I don't know. What do you think we should do? Coming up next, we got the NFL Week 8 schedule overview. Let me take a drink here real quick. Usually I have Lady M introducing everyone, so no alcohol for me today because I am a one-man show, and I have to make sure that I can catch myself, my idiocracy from time to time. First off, thank you for tuning in. If you are on Twitter, make sure you follow. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe for YouTube. If you're on Facebook, make sure you give us a follow and a like on the video. We are live on all 3 every Thursday at 3 p.m. The show must go on. Bye week this week for the Lions, the Raiders, the Rams, the Arizona Cardinals, who desperately need it after losing 5 straight, the Seahawks, and the Jaguars, also known as Jaguars. Thursday night football tonight, we got the Carson Wentz-led Minnesota Vikings at 3-3 at the Chargers 4-3. I love the matchup on this one as far as the Chargers rushing attack. I do have a solid DFS team picked up for you here that I will go over here a little bit later on, so stay tuned on that. I think the Chargers can definitely take this one. I do have Herbert going off for a very big game tonight. All of his receivers are healthy. So should be able to see him. The downside is Minnesota's defense, not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. So it's going to be interesting to watch that and see how it happens. Hopefully, I'll win that first place DFS for about $500,000. And you'll definitely see it with our studio get upgraded real quick, fast, and in a hurry on that one if I win that one. Sunday slate, 10 a.m. games. The Dolphins at 1-6 at the hot Atlanta Falcons, currently 3-3. I like the Falcons in that game. I think everybody likes the Falcons in that game. The only people picking the Miami Dolphins are the people that want to make a stupid bet and are hoping to cash in on the plus money. Jets 0-7. Speaking of a stupid bet, at the Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Flacco. Footsteps Flacco. I think the Bengals should win this game pretty easily because I like the Bengals defense against the lack of a Jets offense. Even though Breece Hall could do something. Breece Hall could actually put up a pretty good game against the Bengals rushing defense. I think it's one of the worst rushing defenses, but I just don't see the Jets offense being able to go shot for shot against the Bengals offense, even though 40,000-year-old Joe Flacco is in charge of it now. The Browns at 2-5, Joe Flacco's former team, at the New England Patriots, the first place in the AFC East. New England Patriots. Patriots fans are very excited right now. They have a very easy schedule. remaining. They might have 4 tough games, and I'm counting a game against Miami as a tough game just because it's a rivalry game. Outside of that, there's 7 games they absolutely should win, and that includes this weekend's game. The Browns do have a shot if they can slow down the rushing attack of the New England Patriots. But I will say this, the Patriots have zero problems with slowing down the opposing team's running backs, as they are yet to allow a running back to go over 50 yards through 7 games. It's unheard of. Speaking of unheard of, the Giants at 2-5. I don't know why I did that transition. At the Philadelphia Eagles, 5-2. We like Cam Scatterbo here because I cover Arizona State football. I have for years now. And I covered Scat, man. I got some great photos of him in action here at Arizona State. I could see him definitely get a touchdown or 3 here in this game. But with that being said, I think the Eagles' passing game has definitely woke up. And A.J. Brown got involved last week, multiple touchdowns. Smith, multiple touchdowns. I mean, it was looking good for everybody except for, believe it or not, Saquon Barkley. Didn't have a great game, didn't have a terrible game, but didn't have a great game. I know this because I put money on him to have an over, and it didn't happen. Moving on. So the Eagles should take that game. I got the Bears at 4-2 at the Ravens 1-5. Keep an eye on this one. All right, because Lamar did practice yesterday and today in a limited fashion, but he is on track to come back this Sunday. If he does not come back, then it'll be back up to Cooper Rush, and I think the Bears can definitely beat them if Cooper Rush is at quarterback. If Lamar is back this Sunday, I give the Ravens a fighting shot, but I would take the plus money, who's ever getting plus points on this one. The 49ers at 5-2, the mostly Mac Jones-led San Francisco 49ers at 5-2 at the Texans 2-4. For the Texans, Nico is out with a concussion. He will not be there. Their number 1 wide receiver. They basically only had 2 wide receivers last week, or 2 people catching the ball for the most part, and that was Schultz and Collins. And now that Collins is out, I'll play Schultz, but I wouldn't put any money on anybody else for the Texans. The 49ers should take this game in Houston. The Buffalo Bills coming off a bye week. They're at 4-2 at the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is probably going to miss this weekend's game against the Bills, which leaves Andy Dalton as the probable starter for Sunday. Panthers rushing attack, though, against a very bad rushing defense in the Buffalo Bills, could be a very solid matchup. Maybe Andy Dalton's not going to need to throw for more than maybe 150 yards and a touchdown. If Dalton goes off like he did against the Cowboys, wow. I could give the Panthers with or without Bryce Young. Even if Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback this weekend, that rushing game for the Panthers could pull off a loss and give the Bills their 3rd straight loss. What? What is going on with this world right now? The Patriots are good again. America is not ready for that shit. Not even for another 3 years. And the Buffalo Bills are struggling again all of a sudden? What's going on with that? Moving on, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with absolutely no wide receivers are going to go into New Orleans and take on the Saints. I love Spencer Rattler in the matchup this week. If Olave plays, if he's healthy, right now he's questionable, he should play. Like, Olave is definitely somebody you need on your DFS team or your fantasy team. Start him this weekend. Absolutely. The Buccaneers are basically down to 1 starting wide receiver and a bunch of practice squad people. Mike Evans just went on IR. You saw what happened to him. Shoulder injury and a concussion on the same play. It's crazy. And he wasn't even hit by Travis Kelce. It's insane. All right. Next game, the Titans at 1-6 at the Colts 6-1. Really? Are we going to give the Titans a shot this week? I don't think so. Danny Jones is loving it in Indy right now. You know who else is loving it in Indy? Jonathan Taylor Thomas, if he lives there. But Jonathan Taylor definitely loves it in Indy right now. The guy is a touchdown machine. I actually have him in one of my paid leagues on DraftKings, and he's got me solid in second place and ready to move on to the next round after week 14. But gonna need more from him. In that league. Wow. All right. No way in hell. No chance in hell. As a matter of fact, don't even think about starting Pollard this week. He might get lucky and get in the end zone. I don't see it happening. Don't start him. Sunday Night Football. This is a good game. You got the Packers at 4-1 and 1 at the Steelers 4-2. Look, I've said it. Why isn't anybody listening to me? This is how you keep from having a tied game. It's just like a shootout in the NHL. You march your special teams out there, your field goal units, your field goal block units. You start at a 45-yard field goal. You go back 5 yards, 5 yards, 2.5 yards, 2.5 yards until somebody misses. No more ties in the I'm so tired of these 4-1 and 1. It's not going to freaking matter. They're in different leagues. Doesn't matter. I'm so tired of this. So tired of these tied games. Put your kickers out there. Make special teams special again. No, I didn't mean that to sound political. I don't do politics on this show. Packers 4-1-1 at the Steelers 4-2. With that being said, Steelers offense looked pretty damn good last week. Also, with that being said, Packers defense looked pretty damn good last week. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I have a pick in mind. I think I locked in the Steelers. I forgot. I'll go over the locks. Pick 6 locks. Lady M sent hers in. Again, no Lady M for this show. She is under the weather, so she got the day off. So it's all me. You can look at my pretty smiling face. No, nailed it for the end of the show because I have nobody in competition. It was a last second thing. I didn't get anybody on the show. That's all right. Nailed it. We'll return next week. All right. Monday Night Football. The Commanders, led by Marcus Mariota, at the Chiefs 4-3. Commanders are 3-4 at the Chiefs 4-3. I give the Commanders a fighting shot with a healthy quarterback. I don't think they can beat the Chiefs, really. I think we both picked Kansas City in that one. Kansas City is firing everywhere. They have 9 running backs. They have 19 wide receivers, and they still have 1 Pat Mahomes and 1 Travis Kelce. Chiefs might not lose again until they play the Patriots in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying about that. All right, so let's dive in. Who were our picks? Again, shout out to Lady M. She picked last week 5-1 record. I don't even know what my total was. I stopped counting at 1-3 after I knew she was already. Why did I do it? I should have stopped counting at 1-2 or maybe even 0-2 after I already knew she was 5-1. So she kicked my ass again for the 3rd week in a row. She's got the Golden Bragger Award somewhere. Maybe she'll take a photo of it and post it on the page, the S3 Facebook page, or even on her Twitter account. Check it out. It's a nice little trophy. It's almost like an Emmy, but it doesn't like me recently. So hopefully my picks here will change that. Tonight, we both have the same picks for Thursday Night Football, the primetime games, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. We both have the Chargers for tonight. Sunday night, Lady M went with the Packers. I went with the Steelers. Monday Night Football, she likes Marcus Mariota, the former Oregon Duck. Starting quarterback for the Commanders this Sunday night or Monday Night Football. I went with the Chiefs. She went with the Commanders. See how that goes. The rest of our picks, I locked in the Buffalo Bills, even though I would be very happy to see them lose. Lady M locked in the Bucks. I locked in the Colts. She locked in the Niners. I locked in the Eagles. Eagles. Invincible, by the way. Great movie. Great freaking movie for the Mark Wahlberg. Good movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go see it like it's in the movie theaters. You can probably find it on like Prime or something. We've got every freaking streaming channel in the universe in this house. So I think that's how we watched it. So anyway, Eagles. And then Lady M chose the Bengals. Big reach there. Lady M, a.k.a. Ms. Marnie Tisdale. Big reach on that one. Chose the 0-7 team to lose again. That's a stretch. All right. Let's dive into DFS. These are my top builds as of right now. Tonight, I have locked in the team for tonight. Sundays might change depending on if Lamar is a go or a no-go for Sunday. So look at the S3 Podcast Facebook page for the final DFS. I'll try and have that team, Sunday's main slate team, on at least an hour prior to kickoff so that you can check it out and maybe make some changes to your team. Real quick, though, sports fans, are you playing DFS this week? You should. Don't go in blind. Stochastic gives you the best DFS tools, projections, and data to build winning lineups for NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. Check out Stochastic today and start turning picks into profits. Big disclaimer, the advice and opinions shared on the S3 podcast are for entertainment purposes only, and are not a guarantee of winnings. Daily fantasy sports involves risk, and results will vary. Please play responsibly and only wager what you can afford to lose. Must be 18 years or older to participate where legal. Launch your DFS play with Stochastic by going to CoachJeffDemers.com/DFS. Check it out. All right, so here's my top build for tonight. Showdown, Vikings at the Chargers. My captain play. Now, if you've never played Showdown DFS, you have one captain. Whoever you put in the captain spot costs 1.5 times their usual price, but they get 1.5 times the points. My captain tonight, I've got quarterback Justin Herbert for the Los Angeles Chargers. Big price, 15.6. I've got Jordan Mason, running back from Minnesota, 8,600. Lottie McConkey. I've got for the Chargers at 7,600. Come on, Vidal. Come on, Vidal. It sounds like a Christmas song. Los Angeles Chargers at $7,000. That's a song I'm now going to have in my freaking head. Thank you very little. Oronde Gadsden, the second for the Chargers at 5,800. And I've got the Chargers defense at 4,400. That is my starting lineup for tonight. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so again, to recap, Justin Herbert, Jordan Mason. Justin Herbert's my captain. Jordan Mason, Lad McConkey, Kamani Vidal, Oronde Gadsden the second, and the Chargers for their defense. 4,400. Total cost $49,000 for Sunday. Now, again, this is the current lineup that I love. Pending on what happens with Lamar Jackson, I might change it. I got to see if he's healthy enough to go this weekend. If he is, I'm playing him. You can't not play Lamar Jackson. I know he hasn't had a great season, but he's had some issues. People haven't been healthy. They're back. They're healthy. Hopefully he wants to join them. If it's Cooper Kupp, yeah. If he is starting, then don't touch him. Don't touch him at all. All right. Here's my DFS for Sunday's main slate at quarterback. I've got Spencer Rattler for the Saints at 4,700. I've got Breece Hall, running back for the Jets, at 6,100. I've got Bijan Robinson. As a matter of fact, start Bijan Robinson every day until he retires or until further notice. He's a beast. Top 2 or 3 running back in the freaking league down there in hot Atlanta. He costs $8,800, by the way. I do like Zay Flowers for Baltimore, even if they go with the backup, because he's really good at getting free underneath for those short, quick, anti-blitz passes. So play Zay Flowers. I've got Drake London in Atlanta. Well, I need somebody for Spencer Rattler to throw to, so I am going with Chris Olave for the Saints at 5,800. I've got tight end Dalton Schultz, because who the hell else are they going to throw to in Houston? At 3,300, I've got for my flex running back Rachaad White for Tampa Bay because, again, who else are they going to go to in Tampa Bay? Everybody's freaking injured. And then, of course, I've got the Bengals defense against the Jets. I know they're thinking about starting Tyrod Taylor. Even if they start him, what's the odds he comes out and throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns? Probably pretty freaking slim, right? All right, total price $49,600. Now, again, that lineup might change. I might do a live 2 hours prior where I pull up Stochastic and actually build out my teams, maybe a few other teams, and maybe take some questions as well. It'll be on this channel 2 hours prior. That's a pretty damn good idea. I think I just might do it for about 30 minutes or so. What's next? I've got NFL Stardom Sit-em. It's Stardom Sit-em time. Right now, if you have Lamar, sit him. Right now, because you don't know how he's feeling, sit him. Sit Jalen Hurts for Philly and sit Bo Nix. Or excuse me, my bad. Start Lamar. Start Jalen Hurts and start Bo Nix. Start him. Start Jonathan Taylor for Indy. Start Bijan Robinson for Atlanta. And start, yes, Breece Hall, because he's probably the only thing the New York Jets are going to do right this weekend. Wide receivers, Rome Odunze for Chicago. Start him. Devontae Smith, touchdown machine the last few weeks. Start him. Michael Pittman Jr. also been getting in the end zone a lot for Danny Dimes down there in Indy. Start him. Tight ends, Harold Fannin Jr. for Cleveland. Yes, I know he's going against my Patriots, but tight ends tend to get open against the Pats, so start him. Start Mason Taylor for the Jets. Start Noah Fant for Cincinnati. Defenses, start the Colts, Patriots, and Falcons. That's all you got to know. Sit them. Sit quarterback Mac Jones this weekend. Sit Tua every weekend. And sit Dak Prescott up there in Mile High. I know what you're thinking. The Cowboys' offense looks great. Yeah, but they're going up into the thin air. It's hard. It's hard for runners. It's hard for sprinters. It's hard for wide receivers who like to take the top off to do that for consecutive plays up in Denver because they can't freaking breathe. Running backs, do not start Quinshon Judkins even after the week he had last week. Why? Because the New England Patriots, I've already said it, have not allowed a running back to go over 50 yards in the first 7 games of the season. Sit him. Sit, as much as I hope I'm wrong on this one, Ramondre Stevenson. Sit him for New England and sit Tony Pollard. I already mentioned that for Tennessee. Wide receivers, sit Jalen Waddle for Miami, sit Khalil Shakir for Buffalo, and sit Joanne Jennings for San Francisco. Sit another guy from San Francisco at tight end, George Kittle. Sit Theo Johnson for the Giants, and sit Jatavion Sanders for Carolina, especially with Bryce Young being out. Defenses to sit the Broncos, sit the Ravens, and sit the Panthers. I don't like them. I do not like them. I don't like the matchup between Williams and the Broncos' rush defense. That's what I don't like. I think the Broncos can be picked apart by the Cowboys on the ground. So we'll see what happens there. What's next? Let's talk some Arizona State Sun Devils football. They're currently sitting at 5-2. They'll take on Houston. Currently sitting at 6-1 at home on Saturday night. Arizona State is once again ranked this weekend at 24th. ASU coming off a big win against number 7 Texas Tech. I was there in the press box. I'll be there again this weekend at Martin America Stadium. I'll be there again with Rhonda Costa, Hall of Fame photographer. Rhonda Costa works for Sports Media X. Great freaking job last week. Phenomenal photos. You can see all of her post-game photos the next day or two, depending on how many she takes on the S3 podcast. Facebook page and on Sports Media X Facebook page. That game kicks off at 5 p.m. local time. Again, I'll be back in the press box, so you can read the recap on our website at CoachJeffDemers.com. I will try and get it in shortly after the game, depending on how many photos I get sent. Hence the job of being the boss man. I am the sports director. I am the owner. I am the founder. I am the main journalist of Sports Media X. All right, let's now touch on the temperature of the Suns. The Phoenix Suns opened their season last night at home against Sacramento Kings. Despite being without two starters, Sacramento opened up a 20-point lead over the Suns, but the Suns surged back in the second half behind Devin Booker's 31 points to take the victory and give Coach Ott his first win as the Suns' new head coach. Phoenix will hit the road for 3 games at the Clippers, Nuggets, and Jazz before returning home next Wednesday to host the Grizzlies, Jazz, and MVP frontrunner Victor Wembanyama. That's going to be fun. I might want to go to that game. We'll see what day that is. All right, NASCAR weekend at Martinsville. It is the final race of the round of 8 in the playoffs. This weekend will decide who the 4 drivers are that will go to Phoenix. Right now, Chase Briscoe is already in, and Denny Hamlin is already in. Both of them off of wins in the first 2 races of this round of 8. Hamlin, I believe, won Vegas, and Briscoe, I think, won the first race. I think that was the Roval, my least favorite track in all of NASCAR. The Charlotte Motor Speedway Oval is phenomenal. It's a great race. It's on my bucket list. I want to go see that race. The Charlotte Coca-Cola, what is it, 5 or 600? I think it's 600. It's the longest race in NASCAR. Definitely want to go see it, though. Anyway, current NASCAR playoff standings for the Cup Series. Chase Briscoe is in with a win at Dega. Denny Hamlin is also in second place right now. Christopher Bell with 4,107 points. Kyle Larson with 4,106. So as of right now, if everything stayed the same, Briscoe, Hamlin, who are already in, will be joined by Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. But still in it and can get in with a win. William Byron with 4,070 points. Joey Logano with 4,068 points. Ryan Blaney with 4,059 points. And Chase Elliott with 4,044 points. Let's go over the Cup Series race and then Cup Series notes. I'll just go league by league on this one. NASCAR Cup Series next race is the Xfinity 500. Place again is Martinsville Speedway. It is a 0.526-mile asphalt oval, also known as the Paperclip. The date, Sunday, October 26th, the time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The purse, $9.797 million. You can watch on NBC and Peacock at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen on Radio MRN, Sirius XM, NASCAR Channel 90. Distance, 263 miles. That is 500 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 130. Stage 2 ends on lap 260. And the final stage ends on lap 500. Get to the Cup Series notes. This weekend marks the 113th running of a NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville. Outstanding. I don't know why I put Talladega. It is Martinsville. All right. William Byron and Ryan Blaney won 4 of the 7 next-gen races at Martinsville. 7 of the 8 playoff drivers have won at Martinsville, all but Chase Briscoe, and that doesn't matter because he's already in. The 6 remaining playoff drivers not locked into the championship 4 are all Martinsville winners with a combined 8 wins there. A playoff-eligible driver ranked 4th or worse in the playoff standings won 5 of the last 8 playoff Martinsville races. One driver that was below the cut line entering the final round of 8 race moved on to the championship 4 in 5 of the last 6 seasons. 4 of them were more than 20 points back entering the final race. So all you Ryan frickin' Blaney fans out there, yeah, we're saying there's a chance. He is currently only about 40 points behind, 47 points behind Kyle Larson. Yeah, he's going to have to win, and he will be in. Win, and they'll be in for any one of them. Again, the only two guaranteed for this race for the championship four here in Phoenix next weekend is Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin for their wins at Vegas and at the Charlotte Roval. So personally, I think Christopher Bell will be great, and I think Kyle Larson will be in there. Hopefully, Ryan Blaney, who's not my favorite person in the world, but hopefully he is not in it this week. Give somebody else a chance. I would love to see Christopher Bell, even though I am a big Chevy fan. So Kyle Larson, ideally, Christopher Bell will be all right. Let's get Bell a title. All right, moving on. One driver that was below the cut line entered the final race. I just said that one. Ryan Blaney won the last two cutoff races at Martinsville. For all you Blaney fans that now hate me, I'm giving you some hope. He's won the last two cutoff races at Martinsville to transfer to the championship four. Joey Logano finished top 10 in the last 12 Martinsville races, the fourth longest streak all time. But his last Martinsville win was back in 2018. Keep in mind that Logano won last year, but the only reason he won last year was because Alex Bowman failed the post-race inspection. Until that happened, Logano was actually eliminated from the playoffs, and he went on to win it all. So maybe he's got some Logano luck this weekend too. I don't know. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson each finished in the top five in the last three Martinsville races, the longest active top five finish streaks at the track. 4 of the 5 short track races in 2025 were won by current playoff drivers. 6 of the 8 playoff drivers finished top 10 at Martinsville in the spring. The only person that any of those facts do not benefit is the guy that's already in. That's Chase Briscoe. So nobody cares. He's in the championship race. That would be a shocker. If it came down to Briscoe, Bell, Larson, and Hamlin, or Byron, or Logano, or Blaney, or Chase Elliott, and Briscoe took home the win, like maybe if you're a gambling person, throw a $100 down on him. I don't even know what it is. It's probably like plus like 700 right now for him to win it all. Maybe even more. Like, I'll check on that. All right, let's go over Xfinity Series. Right now, the Xfinity Series standings. There are 2 drivers that are currently in. Connor freaking Zilish, who wins everything under the sun, and Justin Allgaier. Both of them are in on points. So far in the round of 8, only drivers who are not in the playoffs have won. So you can only get in on points for those 2. Well, they can win, but I mean, then it just brings somebody else in the mix. Like Jesse Love, who's currently sitting in third at 3,102 points. Connor Kvappel, 3,073 points. Sam Smith, 3,062. Brandon Jones has 3,053. Sam Mayer is 2 points behind him. And the long shot, Sheldon Creed, is 19 points behind 7th. He is going to be in a win and in situation, depending on what Kvappel does. But most likely, he's going to have to be a win if Sheldon Creed wants to be into the championship race next weekend here in Phoenix. All right, let's go over the schedule. Xfinity Series. It is the IAA and Ritchie Brothers 250. Whoever pays the most money gets their name on it, apparently. And again, is at Martinsville this Saturday, October 25th, kicking off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a purse of $1.651 million. You can watch it on the CW at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Radio, MRN, or Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90. Who, seriously, today, unless you're driving, like because you got to drive cross country or something, who's going to sit down for 3 hours and listen to a NASCAR race on the radio? I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it. Just be honest. Distance, 131.5 miles. That is 250 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 60. Stage 2 ends on lap 120. The final stage ends on lap 250. Here are the notes. This weekend marks the 45th running of a NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Martinsville Speedway. The Xfinity Series only raced once at Martinsville between 1995 and 2019. This will be the 11th Martinsville race since the Xfinity Series returned in 2020. Since the series returned in 2020, Martinsville hosted the round of 8 cutoff race every single year. So, hey, it knows its place. I like it. The lowest 4 playoff drivers in points will be eliminated after Martinsville. Again, currently the lowest 4, Sheldon Creed from 8 down. Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, and Sam Smith could be eliminated if they don't make up some ground and or win this weekend. Connor Zilic and Justin Allgaier, again, have already clinched spots in Championship 4 based on points. At least 3 playoff drivers will make the Championship 4 on points. Jesse Love needs to score 28 points to clinch a Championship 4 spot on points. If a non-playoff driver wins Saturday, this will be the first year since 2016 that no playoff drivers won in the round of 8. 2 rookies remain in the playoffs, that being Connor Zilic and Carson Kvapil. If the Kvapil, however the hell you want to say it, if the 4 drivers currently above the cut make the Championship 4, Junior Motorsports will have 3 drivers in the championship race, being Connor Zilic, Justin Allgaier, and Carson Kvapil. Joe Gibbs Racing won 5 of the last 7 Martinsville races with 4 different drivers. Eric Almirola, who's not in the playoffs, but he's still racing, swept the Martinsville races in 2024. He just won 2 races ago, I believe, but he's not in the playoffs. He is the only repeat winner at Martinsville in the last 16 races. Justin Allgaier finished in top 10 in 9 of 10 Martinsville races since 2023. Playoff drivers currently have top 10 streaks at Martinsville of at least 4 races, that being Justin Allgaier with 6, Sammy Smith with 5, Sheldon Creed with 4, which is good for Smith and Creed because, again, they're below the line right now. Sheldon Creed has 3 runner-up finishes at Martinsville, trailing only Dale Jarrett and Larry Pearson with 4. 4 of 8 playoff drivers finish in top 10 in the top 10 at Martinsville in March, being Creed, who finished 2nd, Allgaier with 3rd, Mayer with a 5th place shot, and Smith finished 10th. All right, Truck Series race. That is tomorrow night. It is the Slim Jim 200. Slim Jim, snap into it. All right, Martinsville Speedway. That kicks off at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, tomorrow evening. The purse, $782,900. That is on FS1 at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or on NRN or Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90. The distance, 105.2 miles. That is 200 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 50. Stage 2 ends on lap 100. The final stage ends on lap 200. Look at the standings currently for the Craftsman Truck Series. Currently, the only driver that is in, Corey Heim, in with his win at the Roval, my least favorite track. I think I'm just going to keep saying that until they change it. Roger Cruz in second with 3,096 points. Tyler Ankrum, 3,090 points in third. Honeycutt is there with 3,087 points. Currently below the line, barely, Ty Majeski with 3,082 points. Lane Riggs a point behind him at 3,081. Daniel Hemrick, 3,055. And the long shot, Grant Enfinger, with 3,047 points. Let's check out the notes for this race. This week marks the 50th running of a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Martinsville Speedway, the second most of all tracks in the Truck Series behind Texas with 51. Martinsville is one of only 2 tracks to host a Truck Series race in every year of its existence. The other one, you'll see it next week. That would be Phoenix Raceway. This is the 8th playoff race at Martinsville and the 4th time as the final cutoff race before the championship. That is 2020, 2021, and then the last 2 years, 24 and 25. Martinsville is one of only 2 tracks the Truck Series visits twice a year in 2025, the other being Bristol. Only 3 of the drivers in the round of 8 have previously made the championship 4. That would be Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, and Ty Majeski. At least 1 driver will make the championship 4 for the first time. No kidding. Corey Heim is the only full-time driver in all of NASCAR without a DNF. Did not finish in 2025. It's actually pretty amazing with all the accidents that take place in the truck races. Corey Heim led a lap in every race in 2025 and could become the first driver to lead in every race of a season. Corey Heim finished top 5 in all 5 playoff races in 2025. No driver finished top 5 in every race of the playoffs in a season ever. No driver has overcome a deficit of 10 or more points in the final race of the round 2 to make the championship 4 on points. Rajah Caruth is the only driver that can advance to the championship 4 on points without help. He would need to score 47 points at Martinsville. And then he can get in. Doesn't matter who wins. He can get in on points. All right. With that being said, usually now, me and Lady M, we play a little game called Nailed It, where I sing lyrics of up to 4 classic rock songs. You have to guess the artist and the song title correctly. You get half point for the artist and a half point for the title. To win, you must get 3 total points. You do get 1 pass, which is worth a full point, but must be used before giving any answers to the song. You cannot win on a pass. If you want to be a contestant on Nailed It to win whatever's in my movie bag, you can get 1 DVD, 2 DVDs, maybe even more. It's free to play, but you must be in the Valley of the Sun because, the movies aren't really worth putting them in the mail. So I would actually hand drop them to you. If you want to be a guest, hit us up in the comments or message us on Facebook at the S3 Podcast. And we'll bring you on. Have some fun. For right now, if you want to cover live sports like I do, like I said, I'll be back in the press box. I'll be on the field pregame and in the press box during the game. My Hall of Fame photographer, Rhonda Costa, will be down on the sidelines taking photos. Whether it's sitting courtside, standing on the sideline, or getting credentialed to cover your favorite team, it all starts with the right game plan. Join our free Sports Media X webinar and learn how to build your own sports media brand, get behind-the-scenes access, and turn your passion into press credentials. Register now at CoachJeffDemers.com/SMX. Stands for Sports Media X. Spots are limited. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for the S3 Podcast and Sports Media X. And also, make sure you follow myself at SMAHTSIDE, SMAAHTSIDE, and Lady M at Lady M_S3 on X. That is the show this week. I was flying solo. I was flying dirty. I don't even know what that means. I know I'm not dirty. I just took in a shower. Does anybody else shower before they do something online? I do. Is it paranoid? I don't know. I kind of trimmed up a little bit. Still a little bit of stuff there I could trim up. But good show. We will see you again next Thursday. Hopefully the Cardinals can figure out what the hell they're doing and actually come up with a win next week. Don't forget to check DFS lineups an hour before on Sunday. Like I said, I might do a live hangout for DFS picks. I'll be taking your questions and maybe even throwing some teams together so you can see if your team's good or not. Again, there is zero guarantee. Gamble responsibly. I'm out.
That's the show for now. Shout out to the most badass military in the world and the toughest veterans to ever walk the planet. And as always, all you haters.